We are working on GMetrix Access 2016 Practice Exam 1. We're on the second project called Marina Rentals. The first task asks us to go ahead and save this database to the GMetrix templates folder as a backup. First thing we want to do is go ahead and enable the content here, and then we're going to hit File, Save As. In this, we'll keep that Save Database As. We're going to go ahead and select Backup Database, and then we're going to click Save As. You'll want to map to your GMetrix templates folder, and then we'll go ahead and type the name below. We'll click Save, and we'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and save the manufacturer's table as an Excel workbook in the GMetrix templates folder, and it tells us to name the workbook Rental Brands, and it also tells us to keep the formatting and layout. To do that, we want to go ahead and open the manufacturer's table. Then we're going to go to the External Data tab here at the top, and in our Exports group, we want to select Excel. In the File Name section, we want to go ahead and click Browse. You'll want to map to your GMetrix templates folder. For the file name, it tells us to change it to Rental Brands, capital R, capital B, one word. We'll click Save here. And then it tells us that we want to keep the formatting and layout, so we'll go ahead and check this box that says Export Data with Formatting and Layout, and we'll click OK. We don't need to worry about saving the export steps. We'll click Close, and we'll click Mark Completed. Task 3 tells us to hide the manufacturer ID field and the inventory table. Let's go ahead and close out of this table here and open up the inventory table. And then what we want to do is just right-click here on the manufacturer ID and select Hide Fields. And notice that disappeared. It's still there, it's just hidden. We'll go ahead and click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to create a query that includes the fields manufacturer, type, and model. It tells us to sort all of these fields in ascending order, and it tells us the query should make a table named Rental List, and then we should save this query as Sort Rentals, and we should also run the query. There's a lot in this step. Let's go ahead and close out of this. We'll go ahead and click Save. The first thing we want to do is go to the Create tab here at the top, and in the Queries group, we're going to go ahead and select Query Design. We'll go ahead and pull this up. We want to go ahead and select both tables here. I'm just double clicking on both the titles, and I'm going to close out of this. It tells us that we need to include the manufacturer field, so we'll go ahead and double click there. And then it tells us that we also need the type and the model. Each of these sorts is going to be ascending, so I'm going to click here in the sort and select ascending for all three fields. We need to select Make a Table here. It tells us that this table is going to be called Rental List, capital R, capital L. We'll click OK here. It tells us to save the query as Sort Rentals, so we'll go ahead and right-click here and click Save. Go ahead and type in Sort Rentals. Click OK. And it tells us that we need to run this query. So we'll go ahead and select that, Run. It tells us that we are about to paste 23 rows into a new table. That's fine. We'll click Yes. And we'll close out of this. And we'll click Mark Completed. Task 5 tells us to create a form named Available Rentals that displays the manufacturer from the manufacturer's table, and a database subform named Equipment that displays the type, model, and size from the inventory table for each brand equipment. There's a lot to do in this step. What we want to do is go to the Create tab here at the top, and in the Forms, we want to select Form Wizard. The first thing we want to do is go to the manufacturer's table, and we want to select Manufacturer here, and bring that over into the selected fields. The next thing we want to do is go back to the inventory because we need to bring in the type, model, and size here. So we'll go ahead and just click this. And then we'll go ahead and click Next. In this section, we want to have the form with subforms. We'll click Next. It tells us that we want our subform to be a data sheet. So we'll click Next. And then it tells us that we want to change the form name to Available Rentals. So we'll go ahead and type that here. It also tells us that our subform needs to be called Equipment. We'll go ahead and click Finish, and we'll click Mark Completed.